Hey there friends and enemies, JoPaWrites here again, and today I want to go over which character you should start Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League with, depending on your preferred playstyle. Now keep in mind, as the game goes along and you upgrade your equipment, you will be able to really customize the characters in order to make them feel like your own and adjust the playstyles accordingly. However, especially in the early to mid game, you will have an archetype where these characters shine more than the others. So that's what I want to dive into, starting off with my personal main, who I'm going to dive deep into Suicide Squad with, King Shark. He is going to be a lot of fun as a brawler tank type of character, using his traversal ability in order to get as high as possible before dive bombing down onto a group of enemies and then clearing the rest with your melee abilities, your shotgun, and maybe a minigun as well. He is going to be a very aggressive type of character, but less movement, less agility, more tankiness. So if you like playing tank classes, if you want to play a character who feels very sturdy, he's going to be a character for you. But if you want to dodge all over the place, if you want to be very agile, he is not going to be a character that really suits your playstyle. Or if you're a bit more cautious, you want to stay far away and do a ton more DPS, probably not the character for you. I will say, from the look of it, shotguns look like they're going to be very powerful in Suicide Squad, so having a shotgun on him would be very beneficial. And the nice thing is that as the game goes on, you can have 2 weapon slots where you can equip one of 3 different weapon types. For King Shark, for example, it is assault rifles, it is shotguns, as well as miniguns. So you can mix and match those and really add some range into your character as the game goes on. But it does look like the best playstyle for him, and the one that is going to benefit his skill tree the most, is being up close, getting those shields from using your melee ability, and really shotgunning everybody in your path. That's going to be a playstyle that I think will be very effective for him. Next up, we have Harley Quinn. She is going to be the agile, mobile, hunter type character, rogue type character, who you're going to be dodging in and out of combat with. Still an up close character for the most part, a little bit more mid-range at times, especially if you're using a handgun, for example. But her traversal ability isn't as impactful when it comes to her kit. Essentially, when you're running her and moving from enemy to enemy, you are just using it to move around, not using it to do a ton of damage like you are with King Shark. So if you want a character who is a bit more mobility based, she is going to be the best option for you, and I think her DPS is going to be pretty high as well. She has her bat as her melee, which I think is pretty solid as well. Maybe not as much damage as King Shark, but a lot more movement and mobility as you're using it in and out of danger. So I think she's a character that will be very fascinating to see as players try to change up her playstyle. I don't know if she's one that's going to really shine as heavily in one specific area like a King Shark, but I think she will have more options, be more flexible as you're running through the game with her. She is one that I think would be my second favorite character if I had to choose, but she is going to be a little bit more complicated, I believe, as well. So that's something to keep in mind if you are a player who might be less comfortable really min-maxing your movement all over the place. Then we have Captain Boomerang. He is a hard-focused mid-range character. He has a mid-range boomerang melee ability that I think is going to be very interesting, depending on how strong it actually ends up being. Plus, his weapons are a nice little mix of a shotgun. You have ranged weapons with him as well, and he's one that I'm looking forward to seeing how high the damage can get with him. Again, he is a character that him and Harley are, I believe, going to be the 2 most played kind of mid-range characters, especially when you're looking at boss fights and all that kind of good stuff, versus a Deadshot, who I think is going to be a glass cannon long-range type character. Captain Boomerang, his movement looks like it's going to be very, very interesting. He has the teleport ability that's going to allow him to, as much as Harley Quinn gets into and out of danger, that teleport ability looks like it's going to be fantastic for diving into combat, getting some kills, diving away so that way you don't take a ton of damage. And yeah, I think that's going to be a playstyle that could be a ton of fun, especially if you think about other teleporting characters in comic books, like Nightcrawler, for example, or something like that. It just looks like a insanely fun playstyle, and I think that's something that I'm very much looking forward to trying out. However, I do wonder about his melee ability, how strong it's actually going to be, and if he's going to feel as unique as some of the other characters as well. That's my main concern with Captain Boomerang, but he could be very, very good, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's one of the top played characters. But then we come to Deadshot. This is going to be your longer range. Yeah, you can play him at mid-range, but essentially you're going to be wanting to hit crits with his kit pretty much at all times, because it's really going to make him feel very powerful. He is going to be the highest DPS character at range in the game, and I wouldn't be surprised if he is the most played character as we jump into Suicide Squad. He looks like he's going to be absolutely insane. All characters get grenades, but he looks like he's going to be able to use them in a way that's much different from the other characters as well, which I'm looking forward to seeing how you can adjust the various grenades for the characters and if they get bonuses for them as well with their skill tree. So ultimately, I think Deadshot is going to be very fascinating. He is not one you'll have to worry about moving around or doing a whole lot with, because he's going to have the range to pick off enemies from halfway across the map as you are watching your allies jump into the enemies and distract. I think a awesome combination ultimately will be a King Shark tanking a bunch of damage while Deadshot picks off the enemies from afar. So if that's a playstyle of yours, if you like to be a sniper type ranged player, if you don't want to worry about having to buff up your defense or your health or anything like that, and you really want to hard focus on maximizing your damage, he is going to be the character for you, I would imagine, and I can't wait till people get hands-on with him, because I think he's going to be absolutely insane. If you want big damage numbers, Deadshot is likely going to be your best bet for that. And ultimately, I'm looking forward to getting hands-on with additional characters down the line as well. I think once we get some of the DLC or seasonal characters, however they end up doing that, there's going to be a lot of changes here to who I recommend as your main, but I do believe that when you're playing through the base game, you'll still have to start with the 4 main characters anyway, so that might be a moot point. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Helps me out tremendously. Shows you want to see more Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League characters. Let me know, or videos. Let me know in the comments down below which character you plan on starting the game with. My name is JoPa. Have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.